Yes, Blues, welcome back to Everton Extra. Today we're going to do a little prediction for you. We're going to do 3 players that we think Everton should sign, slightly based off some of the media that's going on and slightly based on some wishful thinking from me and Rhiad. As always, Rhiad, how are we?
Not too bad, mate. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. Quite positive with some of the news that's coming out. A little bit sceptical for some of the other stuff, as you know, being an
Yeah,
Everton fan. It's all Riquelme all over again.
yeah.
But yeah, feeling good, feeling good. So come on then. I'm going to ask you first. If you could choose one player for Everton to sign right now, realistically, obviously, otherwise we'd be choosing Messi and Ronaldo. But who would you have? Number
Well,
one.
judging by the thumbnail, the first player you're gonna see is Joël Piroe, and I've spoke quite a lot on my Twitter in the past few days about Torre, but
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
rate him. I think a lot of fans have been judgy off his stats, but I don't think stats are anything to go. I know he is a striker,
yeah.
but he's
Enough.
he's 21 and he's had 14 starts and scored 7 goals in his first full season in the league or whatever. But he's 21 and all it takes is to watch him to see he is a good player.
Yeah,
I don't think he should be judged purely off his stats because if you it's like Jack Grealish situation. If you look
yeah.
at
I
Jack
agree.
Grealish's stats, you just think, oh no,
Yeah,
he's
it doesn't look that good. Doesn't look
obviously
that good.
I'm not comparing him to Jack Grealish, but he's just I
No.
think Torre is one of them where with all young players, you've just got to think he's young. Don't judge off his stats because if we judged off every young kid's stats, where would we be? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, Everton have seen something in him to scout him this extensively and think he's worth 40 million. We're not scouts. You know what I mean? As fans, we're
No.
not scouts. We
No.
don't watch him that much. We don't
And
look
and,
at the.
and Riyadh, the offers from what I've heard anyway. Maybe it's just speculation, but we have actually made that offer, haven't we? According
Mhm.
to all the news, we've made the offer
So
of 40 million in 4 installments. Is that correct?
yeah, so yesterday I did a little bit of a breakdown on the structure of the transfer. So obviously Sacha, he's gave us a bit of a rundown on what to expect if it does go through. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
reportedly Everton. El Bilal Torre's got a release clause of 40 million.
But that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Everton don't want to pay the release clause up front, so I've offered formally a structured deal worth 40 million. You know, this morning the managing director of UD Almeria's came out and said, "Yeah, we've received a formal offer." So well done to Sacha reporting first again. He's getting a bit of a reputation now, but you know,
Exclusive rep.
yeah,
Exclusive.
um, he's I think he's had offers from Italy. He's got an offer from us. He had 2 other offers. Um,
Yeah.
it's going to be in about it's either 3 or 4 installments. That's what Sacha's reported. So I think it could happen, and Everton are the favourites according to the Guardian. So we can
Well,
expect it to move, but just UD Almeria are really reluctant to sell Torre, but they're hoping to raise 50 million in funds this transfer window.
Well, the thing is, they can be, unfortunately for them, they can be reluctant to sell all they want. But if a release clause gets met, a release clause gets met. That is what it
Yeah,
is.
we can't release
Um,
we can't meet the release clause. I don't think we're just trying to work our way around it. But no, I do get it. Yeah,
yeah. So look, ultimately for me, right, I agree with you. You shouldn't focus too much on stats. Reason being, every player has a breakthrough season, and
yeah,
usually the season before the breakthrough season, the player doesn't look that good. Right, if you look at any young prospect, right,
yeah,
not even young. Jack Grealish went to Man City last year. I'm not being funny. He looked half crap. This
yeah. He
year,
did. Yeah,
this year,
even
arguably,
second half of the season.
yeah, arguably, the second half of the season that's just gone, he turned into this MVP for City. He was the MVP in the final. He was
He was.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It was unbelievable for the last, Jesus, for 15 games, Jack Grealish kept Phil Foden out the side. Phil Foden's one of the most talented footballers on the planet.
hmm
So for me, Bilal Toure, listen, his first season making starts, he scored 7 goals in 14 games. The last time Everton had a striker who had that goals to game ratio was Lukaku. And yes, sometimes he had more than 1 goal every 2 games. But people who look at that record need to understand that 7 goals in 14 games is 1 goal every 2 games. That is a return that Everton Football Club cannot afford to turn down right now. We can't afford to turn that down. And if he comes to Everton, he'll be playing with better players than you've got at Almeria. So
Yeah,
for
definitely.
me, super happy to see us linked with a good, promising young striker and not a 33-year-old striker who's just been relegated. Much happier to see that. I was one who was really excited about Gyökeres. We're not going to get him now. It looks like someone like Bilal Touré could even be a better option. It's also nice. It's also nice to see Everton linked with a £40 million player. You know, all right.
It's relieving.
Sorry?
Definitely relieving.
Yeah, it is definitely. But you know, all right, we're probably going to have to lose someone for that. But you know, if you lose,
that's football, mate. That's football.
Yeah, it is what it is. Listen, Everton do not have goals in the side. Dwight McNeil was our top scorer. That should be raising alarm bells everywhere. Clearly it is. And clearly Sean Dyche is trying to get the men he wants on the team. So I'm happy. Bilal Touré, bags of potential. Big lad, big striker. Ability in front of goal. That's what we need. Looks like, you know, look, let's not get too excited, but imagine a world where Everton come back from pre-season and we've got El Bilal Touré, we've just signed for 40 million quid. He's looking to hit the ground running. He's feeling amazing. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's been, you know, in Europe all summer, trying to get rehabilitated, trying to get his injury back on track. Imagine in an ideal world we come back and we've got Bilal Touré and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's back to full fitness and we're playing 2 up front. Just imagine. I know it's hard to imagine. I know we haven't had any positivity for 3 years since before Ancelotti left. But, you know, let's try and get positive. Let's try and get excited. Imagine a world where Everton have got 2 top-class, fully fit strikers in the team, and then we've made a couple of other signings around it.
Matty, don't forget. Just to jump in there, the thing is, for me, really, we, as Everton fans, we really contradict ourselves because we say all the time, repeatedly,
yeah, we do.
We want to look outside of England for transfers. And then once we do get linked with a £40 million player who's no one's heard of, then we start to be like,
Yeah, everyone starts bitching, going, who's this and all that. Listen, do you know what, Rhiad? Here's what I've learned about footy, right?
Do you know what? I'll hold my hands up because I've done it a few times and I'm sure we both have.
Yeah, we both have. Listen, everyone does, because when you're a football fan, your opinion's better than every qualified coach. Don't forget. Yeah. So, but listen, here's the thing, right? You have to remember, Sean Dyche is a no-nonsense, knows what he wants, knows the system he wants to play, right? We're not looking at a Frank Lampard. We're not looking at a Marco Silva. We're not looking at a Koeman or a Martinez who don't really have a style of play. They don't really have multiple plans. They don't really know the player who they want. They don't really know who fits their system. They just want money to be splashed about and we'll try and play attacking football. Sean Dyche knows his system, knows what he wants, has got a good network of scouts around him, has had these people on probably on a shortlist for a little while, right? He'll know what he wants and he'll know what this team needs. So if we're getting linked with a £40 million striker, it's madness. Evertonians are crazy, Rhiad. I agree with you. We've been bitching for a year that we've got no money and we're not spending any money. Now we're linked with a £40 million striker who's on the radar of a lot of top European clubs. And looking like we're trying to get a deal done to sign him, and everyone's suddenly a fucking expert on Spanish football and why we shouldn't be signing him. Like, you know what I mean? Relax. Everyone's got the pen and pad out again going, this is why we shouldn't sign him. You know, listen, let's just get him in. And if he's a flop, then he's a flop then. But you know what? At least we spend money and giving it a go. Every transfer is a gamble. Every single transfer is a gamble. All you've got to do to prove that to yourself is look at what happened to Paul Pogba. The biggest, most potential player in the world.
At the end of the day, Matty, it's not my money. It's not your money.
Exactly. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah. Get him in. I agree. Right. Next one. Second player that you'd want to see in an Everton shirt.
Right. I think this is going to blow you a bit away, Matty, with the stats because Gyökeres, who Everton fans have been raving for.
Yeah, including me. Everyone's heard me rave about Gyökeres for over a year now. So
right, and by no means am I saying this player is ready for the Premier League because he mightn't be, but his stats are far, far better than Victor Gyökeres's. So Joël Piroe, he's had 88 games, 41 goals, and 8 assists.
Is he?
So
that's it. So just let me get that right.
like,
So
I'm contradicting myself when I said stats don't mean a lot, but when you start to like
no,
that,
but listen, Rhiad, is that 49 contributions, including 41 goals in 88 games?
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable record for me.
Yeah.
That in the championship, by the way, which is in my opinion, and I don't know if people have heard me say this or not, but I've said this for years now. The championship is the hardest league in the world, the hardest, most tightest, less breathing room league in the world, the hardest league to get out of, the hardest league to get out of.
It doesn't. I know you don't mean that by level, because obviously the Prem is clear of all level.
No,
but
I mean most competitive though.
How tight it really is.
Yeah, how difficult it is to get out. Now,
no, I'd agree with you. Yeah, because Leeds spent 17 years there, mate.
17 years. Yeah, look, obviously the Premier League is the highest quality football in the world. Obviously, everyone knows that. But genuinely, people don't understand this. The Championship is a more difficult league in terms of points tallies. If you look at the Championships 4 weeks before the end of the season, there's about 9 teams that can win the league.
I think a lot of Championship team fans will agree with you that, because it is really, really, really tight, and it's very physical and dominant. It's hard. It is.
But there's so many teams and so many games, and this is why usually a good indicator as to whether someone can make it in the Prem is if they can score in the Championship. Now look at Ivan Toney. He did it in the Prem. I know he's been banned, and I know no one has great opinions of him, but Jesus, what a striker he is. You know what I mean? So the thing is, for me, and I might be going out on a limb here. Maybe I'm contradicting my previous opinions, because I wanted to sign Victor Gyökeres no matter what. It was like Ollie at the wheel with the United contract when I was talking off Gyökeres. Give him the paper, give him whatever he wants. But Joël Piroe has arguably got a better, more consistent, more decisive, and better looking record for a Premier League team. He's a little bit older, so he's probably a little 100%. Bit wiser. So I think he could be the better signing, especially if he costs us 10 million quid less, or we can offload Ellis Sims to make that deal happen. I think that's a great signing. And I mean,
so we know Ellis Sims was in Swansea a few days ago. Everton are open to a swap deal as well as Swansea. I mean, I'd imagine it'd be plus cash, but Joël Piroe could be a great option. I mean, I've spoke about Joël Piroe on my Twitter. I really like him. We spoke to a Swansea fan page. He said he's a great striker in the Championship, but we don't know whether he's ready for the Prem, because it is very hard to tell if a player in any league is ready for the Premier League.
No one ever knows, Rhiad. No one ever knows.
Gyökeres could go to Sporting and smash him. We don't know. But Joël Piroe, I mean, like you said, it's a good indicator if a player's got that sort of record in any league in the world, that he can perform at the industry standard in the Premier League. And I think he can. I think he's a 10 goal a season striker in the Premier League, more 10, 15. I think
and that's before he gets experience as well. I agree with you. And I think again, imagine if in a perfect world we're going into the season with Calvert-Lewin fit, the lad from Almeida coming in, El Balautori, and then a Joël Piroe who's either getting rotated from the starting lineup or is on the bench. Imagine Everton have gone from having no strikers to having 3 fully fit, very capable strikers. And the thing is, you talk about, it's not guaranteed. Look, Rhiad, of course it isn't. I think personally, the only transfers that have ever guaranteed results were Messi to PSG, Haaland to City, Ronaldo to Madrid, and Zidane to Madrid. Honestly, I think you struggle to find 5 or 6 absolute rock solid, definite signings that have been made in the years where everyone just knew, where everyone unanimously knew. There hasn't been many. No one really knew with Figo how he'd do when he switched. Even when Suarez came to Liverpool, no one knew how good he'd be. Torres, no one knew. There's very few signings that were made where, like Haaland, when Haaland came to City, apart from that one dickhead who said live on Sky Sports with Ogden that he was going to flop, and then 3 weeks later was making an apology video because by 3 weeks into the season, Haaland had scored 47,000 goals, right? Apart from the Haaland transfer, everyone knew he was going to be a dynamite success. Every transfer is a gamble. Listen, anything can happen. Pressure can get to a player. They might have the wrong training routine. They might not be played right. Or they might just not be as good as people think they are or the record shows they are. But what I would say is 49 contributions in 88 games shows heavy consistency. Heavy. That's a contribution every 2 games. That shows big consistency. And for me, he's only played in the Swansea side. Wait until he comes to Everton. He's got better players around him. Let's see what he can do then. I'm happy.
Has he though?
Well. There's the blue out there.
No disrespect to the Swansea fans, like, because we are shit. But
yeah, we are.
Matty, the next one and last one is someone you love by your text messages to me.
It's got to be Gnonto, hasn't it?
It is. Last night.
Give him a paper. Let him put whatever numbers he wants on it.
12 o'clock last night, Sport Italia reported that Everton are the favourites to sign Wilfried Gnonto. I really like him. I mean, I've said previously on the podcast that...
You're contradicting yourself there, Rhiad.
I've said previously...
Everyone remembers that Twitter space when No.
I stand by my point that I'd rather have Jack Harrison. But no. No, but
you've got to clip this. You've got to clip this and make this a clip.
Do you think I'm clipping myself?
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, let me explain.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rhiad has just said he would rather have Jack Harrison over Wilfried Gnonto. Oh my God.
No, I would, and that's because now that we're linked to El Bilal Traore, and players like that, it's changed because now we can afford to take a risk on Gnonto.
Okay.
If you would have said to me, listen, 2 weeks ago when we did that space, and I said I'd rather have Jack Harrison, I would, because we were linked to absolutely no one, and we needed a risk-free transfer. And Jack Harrison is a risk-free transfer who's proven in the Prem, whereas Gnonto had scored 2 goals all season, and he was.
But you saw.
He's got something about him. He's got something about him, but you need someone to come in and score 10 goals a season, and he weren't going to do it straight away. So,
and do you know what? To be fair to you, Rhiad, Everton for 10, 12 years now, I am sick of Everton having players who've got something about them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm sick of it. Let's have someone who's got more than something about him and plays week in, week out with results. Jack Harrison, for me, like, Everton have always had these players. Think about it: Onyekuru, Vlasic, Barkley.
Yeah.
You know, all these young players, Nkunku. You know, all these young players who've come through over the years. Onyekuru never even got a bloody work permit. We never got to play that lad. And I do think he would have been unbelievable, by the way. We did well with that transfer, though. I think we made 17 million quid back off him. But anyway, Ademola Lookman, another one. Come on and look. Didn't he just look the absolute dog's bollocks?
I think he made his debut against City and scored.
Yeah, he made his debut in the 4-0 win v City where Tom Davies scored that wonder goal, and he scored and he megs the keeper in front of the Gladys Street. We just signed him from Charlton Athletic 2 days earlier for 7 million quid. I know, because one of our very close family friends was managing Charlton at the time. We signed him off him for 7 million quid. He came on at the weekend, scored on his debut in front of the Gladys Street. I then don't think he ever scored again. But every time he come on, he looked the dog's bollocks. I remember he came on in Anfield once and he ripped the Liverpool defence to shreds, but did nothing at the end of it. So for me, you know, I'm sick
it's about development, really, isn't it? It's about developing into that.
I don't want someone who's got something about them. If Gnonto comes and he's fantastic, great. But, you know, let's make sure we've got some results coming as well. I agree with you. But I think if I'm going to agree or disagree with the third prediction, I'm happy with it. I'd be very happy within a week's time if Everton had signed El Bilal Traore, Wilfried Gnonto and Joël Piroe. I'd be very, very happy with that. Because Gnonto can play either side as well, which then gives McNeil a bit of freedom to play in a more central role. You know, takes the pressure off of Iwobi on the right-hand side. I think it's a really great signing for Everton if we can make these signings happen.
All three. And I'll run down Goodison, Balakow, but it's not going to happen, is it? All three is not going to happen. We haven't got the funds for it.
Probably not.
I mean, I'd take I'd take one of the three, to be honest, and a left back and a midfielder. I know we're in no position to be picking and choosing at the minute, but ideally, I'd
No,
have
but you're right though, and listen, Rhiad, if that money from everyone, and I know we don't really want to have the conversation, but let's just be honest with ourselves. If we're signing El Balaltori, it means Onana's going to go. And me and Rhiad had this conversation
and I said that
earlier
on
today.
Twitter,
Like, and I was reading some of them comments on Twitter, questionable at best. I'm not sure who was dropped on the head as a kid, but anyway, we'll move swiftly on. The thing is,
oh, we can't say that.
The thing is, you know, we had this conversation earlier today, Rhiad. Onana, everyone needs to remember back to when Lukaku was leaving, and everyone was, oh no, he's coming back. He's coming back after holiday. We're going to have him. No, he's not. Onana is going to go. Listen, he's away in Miami. He's one of the only members of the squad who isn't training. He's not in any of the club's posts. Damari Gray was linked with a move away to 5 different clubs 4 days ago. He's just been doing that on his chest on the new.
Yeah, but no, look, we know how that goes. Rooney, James, Richardson, but I'm not really happy about Damari Gray, with all due respect.
Damari Gray, we're gonna get 50 million for him. So
yeah, definitely, I agree, mate.
So we'll see what happens. I think if we're gonna sign El Balaltori for 40 million quid, I think that means Onana's gonna go. And to be honest with you, we're not gonna get much more than 50 million for Onana because of the situation we're in. So I think that means if he goes and we sign Balaltori, we then need more money for a left back and a midfielder. So I don't know. Yeah. Let's see if we can pull it out the bag. Maybe MSP are going to give us a bit of dough or something for transfers. I don't know, but let's just see what happens. I'm excited.
That's it, mate.
I'm excited.
That's it. Matty, thank you as always.
No problem at all. Cheers, folks. Thanks for joining.
We've had unbelievable growth on Twitter in the past few days and the past weeks during the transfer window. So thank you very much.
So thank you to everyone for the support and the engagement. Keep it coming. If anyone's got any questions or any general discussions you want to have, honestly, we're about all the time, always up for the conversation. So please keep it coming. Up the toffs.
Nice one, Matty. See you soon.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone.